If I asked you, what are you looking for in life? And I got your responses, more often than not, many of you would say, I just want to be happy. So today, let's explore this. Let's explore 5 ways that are proven to make us happy. Believe it or not, there has been a ton of research on happiness and scientific studies around those things that make us the happiest. Today, I want to share with you 5 things that research has proven can make us happy. Stay tuned. The first way is that proverbial expression that we've heard that we need to have an attitude of gratitude, but there really is something incredibly special in gratitude, in this ability to give thanks. Because when we're in this moment of gratitude, where our focus is moved to is that which we have, not that which we don't have. And no matter where we're at, no matter what situation that we are in our lives, there is always something to feel grateful for. And it's a wonderful practice to introduce each and every day, just a few moments perhaps, when we can stop, pause, and perhaps give thanks for what we have. And the research is replete with evidence that people who show higher signs of gratitude tend to be happier in their lives. So, one way is begin to introduce moments where you can pause to be grateful for what you have in your life. The second way is to think about, especially in difficult areas, whenever perhaps you are prone to think, what could go wrong? To actually flip that on its side and to ask the opposite question. What if everything went right? So often our minds are attuned on things that can go wrong, the what ifs. And so often that can consume us with fear or anxiety as we await potential doom and gloom. And of course, the doom and gloom maybe won't happen. But another way of doing that is to flipping it on its side and to ask that great question, what if everything went right? How would I feel? What would that look like? Because the advantage of asking that simple question, of refocusing it and turning it around, is that it can still within us an energy and a confidence to approach something very differently. So take some time today, and when you're perhaps thinking about something in the future, instead of worrying about what could go wrong, put some energy into thinking about what if everything went right. The third way is set an intention every day. The research is so clear. People who methodically set intentions each and every day tend to score higher in scales measuring happiness. And what is it about the power of an intention? Well, something I try and do every day. It becomes this guiding anchor for the day. How do I want to live today? How do I want my day to be? And can I set an intention for that for the rest of the day? And if we can set an intention and perhaps check in with that intention a few times during the day, and then at the end of the day to check in once more and to ask ourselves, how did that go? It's amazing how powerful that can be and what a wonderful reminder it can be. So, for example, an intention could easily be, today I want to live a day when I will be grateful for the gifts that I have. And we set that intention, and all of a sudden starts our mind thinking about, well, what gifts am I grateful for? Well, I'm grateful for the gift of life. I'm grateful for the fact that I've woken up in a bed, in a warm home. I'm grateful for the fact that I have food on the table. I'm grateful for the fact that I'm meeting clients today and have the opportunity to help them increase their emotional intelligence. That's what I would be grateful for. And then, of course, as the day goes on, sometimes we drift away from those intentions. And then if we just pause, even for 10 or 20 seconds, and just to check in again, how am I doing with my intention for today? Have I really been focused on things that I'm grateful for, or am I drifting away? And once again, we make a commitment to that intention. And then once again, at the end of the day, to look back and to once again focus on that intention. Intention has huge power. I just invite you to explore the intention, and maybe tomorrow morning when you wake up, start the day by making an intention for how you want to live it. The fourth way is sleep and physical activity. You know, if there's one crushing statistic that comes up time after time in surveys, it is this. It is the chronic lack of sleep we have in this country. People are not getting their full allotment of sleep, and that has incredibly important physical, mental, emotional consequences. We know that people are happiest when their bodies are happy. And if we are depriving our bodies of sleep, then we just cannot function at its most complete level. And so therefore, I would just invite you to examine how many hours of sleep are you truly getting? Are you getting out to walk about, to explore, to get some movement? You know, one of the things that I've tried to do is to get outside, even if it's for 5 or 10 minutes. It just helps me connect with nature around me, and once again helps me be grateful for the life that I have. So if you want to increase your happiness, think about increasing the amount of sleep you get and maybe the amount of activity you take each and every day. The fifth way is to volunteer. Yes, research shows that people who volunteer, who give off their time, who give off their wealth to give to others who perhaps are less fortunate than themselves, tend to be happier. Now, what's the reason for that? Well, just think about it. Think about spending time when you have the realization just how blessed you are in your life, that perhaps you are not struggling in the way that some other people are struggling. And so first of all, it gives you a sense of gratitude. And then secondly, through your actions, through your volunteering, you are actively trying to address this problem that has arisen. You are trying to address this need within the community. So if you're looking to be happier in your life, why not find a volunteering opportunity? Why not find a cause that's dear to your heart? Why not find a problem in the world that you would like to find a solution and be part of the solution? Because those who get involved, those who give off themselves, tend to be happier in their lives. Happiness is a choice. Now, after watching this video, there isn't one of those suggestions that you could not integrate into your life. And so therefore, I just invite you to explore, perhaps integrating just one of them and to see how it impacts you. I'd also love to hear from each of you who watch this video. Why don't you make some comments below? What are the things that make you the happiest? Because we can certainly learn and get ideas from each other. And if you've enjoyed this video, I invite you to perhaps watch the next one, which looks at how we may become more optimistic in our lives.